Post reforms, federal government others pass the burden of economic growth, stability to state governors. It's from the Dailies on Solutions 93.9 FM. And I would like us to start with the story that still has to do with Archbishop Emeritus John Cardinal Onyekan. And we spoke about it on the program yesterday, Comrade Ayodele Ajisope and I, when it started when the group of Catholic bishops of Nigeria paid a courtesy visit on the president sometime last week to discuss, to paint the true picture of situation of things to the president. But according to Archbishop Onyekan, he said that what they saw when they met Tinubu, it was more like Tinubu didn't agree with everything they painted to him. We played a clip on it yesterday, but because we have Rotimi Johnson joining us this morning, and for the sake of those who didn't listen to the program yesterday, I'd like to replay what Archbishop John Cardinal Onyekan said on Arise Television when he was engaged by Charles, telling him what transpired between him and President President Bola Tinubu when they met with him at the State House. Let's take a listen.
How did I see the face of
the president in reaction?
I was not surprised that he was not looking very happy. Not even his colleagues who were there. We knew that this is different from the kind of statements that our president keeps receiving from all kinds of people. And that is one of the things that worries us, that there are so many people hanging around Mr. President, giving him a rosy picture of what the country is, which it is not. And we felt that we have no duty to do that. Indeed, we have the obligation to help him to appreciate the reality of the situation in which we find ourselves. And that is the reality that we painted, which I know is not the kind of thing that he wanted to hear. And the reply shows very clear.
I'm concerned that your cross is going over your microphone.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah, and you can see his reply. We left that hall, both sides, knowing that, we said what we had to say. He said what he had to say.
So was it a frosty meeting then? Would you describe it as fairly frosty?
When the nation is bleeding, you can't expect a polite meeting with the head of state. We need to let him know. And his reply is that the nation is not bleeding. We told him our economy is not helping our poor people. He told us the economy is doing fine. Practically speaking, he told us quite clearly that he did not agree with us. Again, I said, we're not surprised. We didn't expect him to agree with us. We have done our duty. We have delivered our message. And we have a feeling that
All right, the voice of Archbishop Emeritus John Cardinal Onyekan there on Arise Television, telling us what transpired between him and President President Bola Tinubu when the group of Catholic bishops paid a courtesy visit on the president. Rotimi Johnson, you were not here on the program yesterday. I'd like to have your reaction on that statement coming from Bishop Onyekan.
Know about that meeting. They visited, the president. They conveyed message from the streets. Unlike those who visit the house of Villa, they only come back with message from the presidency. But this time around, these clergymen, they visited the president with a message from the street. And like he said, they were not expecting. They didn't go there to go and sing the praises of the president. So they knew how they could predict his reaction. Nonetheless, they delivered the message succinctly. So I commend them for this because they want the respect well, they want my respect more. I've always known them. These Catholic bishops, when they visit to go and discuss Nigeria, not because they will have personal desires. Unlike some other pastors, when they visit Aso Rock, they come with message from Aso Rock to Nigerians. But these have gone with message from Nigerians to the presidency. And I hope, like he said, somewhere along the line, maybe they will see senses in what they have delivered.
But immediately after he said that, Daniel Bwala came out and said that the Catholic bishop was only representing the minds of Catholics and not Nigerians. And also we read a communique, a statement released by Sunday Dailies presidential spokesperson yesterday on the program, where he said that Onayekon is acting like the voice of the opposition party.
Don't mind them. They are just sycophants and very unserious. Because if they are serious, they must look at the track record of Onayekon. Onayekon stood against Jonathan. This man is known for speaking truth to power, not minding whose heart is God. This man he has a track record of saying it the way it is. He is not a politician. And he's not patronizing government in any way or any administration. So if you are now coming to say that he is speaking like the mouthpiece of the opposition, you are only deceiving yourselves. And for Bwala, I'm not surprised. He's known to eat his words. So in a few weeks' time, we will say he never said that, or that it is not what he meant. Because if you say he spoke for the Catholics, are Catholics not Nigerians? So if the Catholics have this opinion about this administration, is it not worth looking at? Because if you look at the statistics, Catholics among the Orthodox churches, I think they still have the highest population. So if this much population, the number of Catholics in Nigeria is more than the votes that put Tinubu in office. We will have more than 8 million Catholics in Nigeria. So what are you talking about? So if he's speaking for Catholics, is it not worth listening to? So I don't understand when you are in power and you don't want to hear the truth. It doesn't mean they hate you. They want things done differently so that there will be impact. If there is impact, who are people going to praise? Who are they going to commend? Is it not the administration? Is it not the president? So if somebody is urging you to do things right and attend to the needs of the people, it's not a message of hate. But anytime you speak truth to power in Nigeria, it's not peculiar to this administration. They begin to treat you like if you have an enemy. It happened in the time of Jonathan too. So those who are telling him not to fight with Obasanjo, not to do this, to do that, they will come out to condemn them as enemy of government. It happened during Buhari, and I think it's beginning to be the style of anybody that is in government now. Once you speak the truth, they see you as an enemy of the government. But the patriotism in us will not stop us from speaking the truth to power, whether they like it or not.
Okay, now responding to the reactions from the presidency now, Onayekon to presidency, in response to that, we are done talking. Govern better. I'd like to read a few paragraphs from that story this morning. The Archbishop Emeritus of Abuja, John Cardinal Onayekon, has declined to respond to criticisms by the presidency, insisting that Catholic bishops have already delivered their message to the president and were only interested in whether it would influence governance. The latest remarks followed an exchange between the presidency and the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Nigeria, CBCN, after the bishops met President Bola Tinubu at the State House in Abuja on July 28, 2026, to present their assessment of the country's economy and security. Let me skip further. Okay. However, speaking in an exclusive interview with Frontline, a current affairs program on Eagles 102.5 FM in Ogun State yesterday, Onayekon said the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Nigeria had no intention of engaging in a public exchange with government spokespersons following its recent meeting with President Tinubu. He rejected suggestions that the bishops were speaking only for Catholics, saying their intervention was based on a moral responsibility to all Nigerians. He said, now quoting him, "We didn't go there just as Catholic bishops pushing the Catholic agenda. No, we went there as people who are with the spiritual mandate to speak to anybody in the name of God." Okay, and speaking on the presidency's reaction, he said, "I would not even answer that question. We have no response for them. We have spoken, and the only response we are waiting for is whether it is affecting the way they are governing. That some of the supporters of government and the state and spokesperson may have their own idea about what they think they should be saying on behalf of their principal is their business, not mine." Okay, let me just stop there. Comrade, your response to what Monayekan said.
Yes,
In response to that.
I mean, do you expect America to allow it to run into a ding-dong? No, that is it. That is the appropriate thing for any person or organization. Look, we had a message. We sorted this with the president. We delivered our message. Whatever else that follows, the ball is already in the court of the president. This time, not in the court of the presidency. They spoke to the president. It is now for the president, who is in charge of the presidency, to galvanize the presidency, his presidency. So, I mean, and then it goes beyond Onoyekon. Like I said yesterday, the Catholic institution worldwide. We saw them in the Philippines rise up and stand up against Aquino. What do you call that? The word that is Aquino. I forgot. I think it's Aquino. Yes, they stood up against the man and his wife. And in Latin America, we've seen Catholic churches do same at the risk of their lives. And of course, in East Africa, in Uganda specifically, we saw the church rise up, speak truth to power, even paying the ultimate price. So what is it? They went there, they spoke the minds of Nigerians, and the perception of Onoyekon and his team was that there were some people, there are actually still people around the president who are not painting the real-time picture of things on ground as it affects Nigerians that he governs.
Okay.
So what's the problem with that?
All right.
It's a perception.
Ojasope, Onayeka made mention of something on that interview. He said it seems that the people surrounding the president are not giving him the true picture. Are you of the same opinion that most of our leaders are truly disconnected from the real happenings, or they just pretend not to know this is happening?
Actually, I think it's both. And I will explain.
Okay.
One thing we must understand is that followers will do whatever they think their leaders want or love. If they think you don't like the truth, you will not have anybody saying the truth around you. So it's what they think he wants to hear that they tell him. If all he say about is that, "Oh God, we are doing well, oh God, we are doing well," oh, even when he is not doing well, that's what they will be telling him. One thing about our chief executive officers in Nigeria, in Abuja or at the state level, they have access to any information they need. Any information. Part of the responsibilities of the DSS is to also, gather information from the streets. So if the president is sincere, all he has to say is to tell the director of DSS that I want direct feelers from the streets what they think about this administration. But because they are not interested, they will not do that. And because the personal aides around him, they know that this man, all he wants to hear is Raka Dedesa. That's all they will tell him. "Oh God, we are doing well." When he wakes up in the morning, we are doing well. Even when the country is upside down, they will keep telling him we are doing well. But because anybody that says otherwise is seen as an enemy of the administration.
Remember we played the voice of Bayo Ononuga some weeks ago on this program when he said that he is yet to see any hungry Nigerian.
That's it.
That he moved around the streets and he has gone
He will
around
not
the country,
see it.
and he's yet to see any Nigerian that is hungry.
He will not see it because that's not what he wants to see. Have you noticed that there is how our mind plays out? Maybe you're shopping for a particular fabric or you're shopping for a particular kind of car. Immediately you set your mind on it. It's as if every other person on the street is riding that car. That's where you begin to see that particular brand of vehicle. So if you really set your mind to see what the people are going through, you will see them. But if you have blocked your mind that you don't care, you will never see. Even if your staff, your domestic staff are starving, you will not see it. So the mind works in a very very wonderful way. Once you are open to new things, you want to explore, you want to find out, your mind will be open. But as soon as you close your mind to what the people are feeling, even under your nose, your spouse, your children, they might be starving to death and you will not see it. So that's just it. Don't mind them. He said he traveled in Lagos. Do you know how many people are suffering in Lagos? How many beggars that he traveled all through from Ijebu Ode, went through, and now he saw that people are not suffering. They can say whatever they like. But if you really care to know what the people are going through, it doesn't take rocket science. All you have to do is just to open your mind. You see them everywhere. The fact that some people are still putting on their clothes rightly doesn't mean they are still in their right frame of mind.
Okay, comrade, you want to add to that?
Yes, the greatest danger, I have been privileged to be around people who occupy offices of chief executives. The greatest danger to them is the people around them. I remember we got to a place, and then anytime the CEO was at the lobby, everybody would be frozen. These security details will freeze everybody. Nobody on the stairs, nobody in the... I said, what is this? What is this all about? We want to freeze. So if we stand there for 30 minutes, nothing happens. A lobby that interconnects everywhere. Some people enjoy that. Now, at that small level and at higher levels, one day I told the CPS of a governor, I said, why don't you tell this man this? And I said, He said, not me. I said, why not? But that is the truth. The truth is that those who are around them mostly know that they occupy privileged positions. You understand? That 1,001 people are available to replace him at the snap of a finger, and that they actually got there by links and connections. And what do you call it? Promotion, nomination by some people around the principal officer. So he can be yanked off anytime.
But is that not the height of psychophancy?
Whatever name you call it.
I don't agree with comrade on this.
What one specifically?
Which aspect?
That is, people keep saying that people around them. No, it is about the principal. And we have to be sincere with ourselves. Even as I'm sitting down here, if comrade is my boss.
I said the greatest danger around the principal is the people around it. But it is now incumbent on him, the occupant.
Now
he owes himself that responsibility.
Now, as we are sitting here,
Babangida in his heydays would drive from what do you call Donald Barrack to Ota in a Volkswagen. Obasanjo knew how he connected behind the official thing. It is inexperienced people that will become prisoners. It is inexperienced hands.
No, I don't see it like that. Now, let me tell you something. If you are my boss, and I come today and tell you that, Oga, when you wear blue shirt, please, it is somehow to put a green tie on top of blue shirt. Maybe I just try. So maybe you should look maybe like maroon color or darker blue. I just try, and I saw that you are hungry. That I pointed it out. Do you think I will come back and tell you another time?
Now, let me now tell you. Rather than
I'm still talking about something as
No.
As peripheral as that.
Okay, you say, Oga, when you put on a blue shirt, you don't put on a green tie. Now, why not say, Oga, don't you think wine will complement this blue better? Is that another way of telling him that
wait. It's not about how it is delivered.
The message
it is the message I'm talking about now.
The same message you are
and
passing.
you are now seeing that this person, if it's how it is delivered, you by and by you know. We are not all children. We have been about a lot of people, so you know that, oh, I didn't deliver it well, because you also know what your other colleagues are doing. But if somebody else even does it and you see the way he reacted, you think if the idea, you will not bind the devil when the idea comes that you should point out anything, or even an idea that you think will work. Oh, Oga, I was in Europe, oh, I saw this, oh, I think we can implement it in this way. You will not talk.
Okay, you have the opinion that most of our leaders don't want to even hear
they don't want to hear the truth. They don't want your opinion. So what's your idea?
So you don't think you owe your principal a responsibility?
You owe him a responsibility.
And even yourself a responsibility.
No, you owe him and even the nation, because you're not serving him. You're serving him before he wins the election. But when he wins the election and he appoints you, it's the state that is paying you. You're serving the state through him. But in Nigeria, it is not like that. A lot of intellectual people, a lot of principled people, that's why when they get to office, they become something else. Because as soon as you say the truth, whether privately or publicly, you become enemy of government, even in the same administration you're serving. Look at it everywhere. It's not peculiar to that's why I said, even in Obasanjo regime, if you speak the truth, they will come after you. During Yar'Adua too, they will come after you. During Buhari, during Jonathan, they will come after you heavily. The same people that you are looking at that these are statements, the way they will watch them down just because they spoke the truth. So it's not peculiar to Tinubu administration at all. We knew what the Garba Shehu and the likes did during Buhari's regime. So Nigerian leaders, they don't like you to say the truth. Before they were hailing Wole Soyinka, but towards the end of last year and early this year, when Soyinka started saying the truth, it became something else. And that's the way they are. Once you hail them, you become their friend, irrespective of what the people are feeling. And that's why most of our traditional rulers, when they go to Aso Rock, they don't go with messages from their territory, from their kingdom. Instead, they come with messages from Aso Rock, encouraging the people to be more patient with the government, because that's what they want to hear. It's a sad situation. No, it's not. I'm not saying that it is right, but it's just pathetic that things are just going haywire in this country.
Okay, it's still from the Dailies on Solutions 93.9 FM. Let's move to another story now. And this one has to do with the war of words between Atiku Abubakar and the presidency. Lately, Atiku Abubakar has been talking about criticizing the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And some of the things he said was the fact that Nigeria is bleeding, as in corroborating what Onoyeka said to Mr. President, that Nigeria is truly bleeding rather, and the Nigerians are suffering. And he went over here to say that about 767 factories are shut and 335 others in distress under Tinubu's watch. That is coming from Atiku. But we also remember that former President Olusegun Obasanjo made a statement about Atiku a few days ago. I'm sure you must have listened to that. Ojasope, did you listen to that?
Yeah, the biggest mistake.
The biggest mistake ever. And the presidency was quick to jump on what Obasanjo said, saying that, you see now, if your principal that you worked for is coming out openly to say that you were a biggest mistake, so what should Nigerians expect from a biggest mistake? But in swift reaction to that, Bolaji Abdullahi has responded to that, and I would like to read the story. It says APC is more comfortable discussing Atiku than fixing Nigeria. And I would like to read it. The African Democratic Congress ADC has accused the ruling All Progressives Congress APC of being fixated on its presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar instead of tackling Nigeria's worsening poverty, insecurity and cost of living crisis. Reacting on Monday through its National Publicity Secretary Malam Bolaji Abdullahi, the ADC said the APC had shamelessly latched on to former President Olusegun Obasanjo's critical comments about Atiku, while also attacking Catholic bishops for speaking out on the country's deteriorating condition under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. According to the party, the Tinubu administration is desperate to divert attention from what it described as a catastrophic record on the economy, security, and the welfare of Nigerians. The APC appears more comfortable discussing Atiku Abubakar than addressing the multidimensional crisis into which they have plunged the country, the statement said. ADC argued that rather than respond to concerns raised by religious leaders and citizens about hardship, the ruling party has chosen to chase opposition figures and recycled old political arguments, and ended it by saying that, well, Nigerians and not Obasanjo will decide the election come 2027. Let me start from you, Ojasope.
Well, of course, I agree very well with Comrade Bolaji Abdullah. Is not a comrade, Malam Bolaji Abdullah, because if you even look at, if you even try and dissect what is happening and just focus on the reaction of the presidency to the Catholic bishop, that utterance that all is fair in politics is a disservice to the nation. It is the most unpatriotic statement from presidency, because we are going through a lot in this country, and it shows the focus of this presidency. And look at what is even happening in Osun State. So they are not minded, they are not concerned at all about what the people are going through or how this election will be won, because to them all is fair. It's so sad, because the focus is all about the next election. It's not about the welfare of the people. It's not about the next generation. Everything since this government got there has been about the next election. And anybody that talks about the welfare of the people becomes the enemy of the government. And Atiku is doing what he's supposed to do as the opposition leader. He's supposed to point out so many things the government is not doing right and provide alternative. It doesn't make him an enemy of the nation. I keep saying it, that you're pointing out, laxity in government, and you're suggesting better ways of doing things, do not make you enemy of government. It doesn't. Sit up. Just like Onaekon said. He said, they are done talking. Sit up and let's see the difference. When we see the difference, who are they going to praise? It's not the person that pointed it out to you. They will praise you. They will commend your administration if there are positive impacts on the streets. But what are we facing today? They keep doing the same thing. But sincerely, we all know, even Comrade and Adedamola, you know that if it were to be based on free and fair election, this government has lost the second time election since 2024. Because the filler on the street, people don't want this pain. This pain must just go. Why must pain win re-election? And like Obasanjo once said, he said, why do you have to reinforce failure? You don't reinforce failure. What Obasanjo has said against them, they are not repeating it. Is what he said against their opposition, that they are now, if Obasanjo says something against them now, they now see that Obasanjo, they will call him names. So this same Obasanjo that you have attacked several times, you are now quoting him because he's attacking his former vice president.
And interestingly, to corroborate what you say, Obasanjo also spoke about recently about Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, saying that the administration came on board without any tangible plan.
Yes, he said they have no vision. They have nowhere they are going. So if he said that about you, and of course they attacked him too, then they are now quoting him because he said that the fact that Atiku was Obasanjo's mistake does not mean that Atiku is an evil person.
Okay, Comrade Adeja Chokwe, your take on that?
Which one?
Bolaji Abdullahi.
Oh, Bolaji Abdullahi is doing his job. He's robust. I love him. I love his style. Sometimes he thinks Buala goes on air or writes audios. Dare himself has just joined the wagon now. I was shocked at the words deployed by Sunday Dare against Onayek. I was shocked when I read it. Especially when you were reading it out yesterday, I was shocked. But you see, somebody told me, you see, when this administration came into being, after some months, and then Onanuga started his combat journalism again, like we were in the days of the military, and the people are the opposition, you know, understand? So I asked the professor of journalism, I said, so what was the problem with these people? I mean, that they campaigned robustly. He said, no, it is not the people that manage the communication of a campaign organization should be the ones managing the communication of governance. I said, yes. I said, yes, they will just continue the campaign. He said they are behaving as if the campaign has not ended.
Yes.
That governance is it. Now, you continue as if they should have brought people who were part of the campaign, and then they speak governance, and then that they should be using PR people. That these people are doing a lot of damage. They are not public relations people. So I can understand. I mean, by Onanuga especially, but Obasanjo and Atiku, it's not nice. What is it? You have written it. Why must you not? Why? And just like you just said yesterday.
Why does it keep coming out when
election cycles?
When it is time for election? I'm talking about Obasanjo now. Why does all this come out to demarket Atiku Abubakar?
One thing you must also understand about Obasanjo has a personal flaw in that area. You know, I don't know how best to describe it.
One leg your woman tomorrow. One leg are we menu kuro?
Yes, and if you don't forget, you might find it difficult. You're right. If you don't forget, you might find it difficult to forgive. That's the truth. So, if a woman is hungry, you can't blame him because he cannot. He can't erase the memory of that pain or what that evil you have done.
Atiku dealt, according to the word out there, Atiku dealt with Baba.
Yes, so that's the problem. But Atiku, in the history of Obasanjo, nobody has been able to treat, Obasanjo the way Atiku did, and I think that's the painful part of it. Obasanjo always had the upper hand, even in his relationship with Abiola then. Obasanjo never wanted Abiola to become president. He never hid it. He never supported the June 12 campaign. Hope 19 after Obasanjo was even Abiola was even incarcerated. He never joined
not one word.
Not one word. So he never.
In fact, if there was any word, he said he was not the Messiah in Zimbabwe.
He even said some things, unprintable words, even behind the door. But the important thing is, people that has the clout that wanted to rescue this nation in one way or the other, we have never seen Obasanjo supporting them. Look at Abiola, look at Awolowo. Obasanjo never supported Awolowo. He never hid it.
They tracked his ballot paper in Northern Barracks.
You understand? So it's not new if he's coming out now to attack Atiku. It's not. In fact, it's the more reason why you should think maybe Atiku is in the category of Abiola and Awolowo. Because while they served, I keep telling whoever cares to listen, Obasanjo did everything possible in his second term to deal with Atiku, and he did not win. He went to court, many cases against Atiku. He never won. He instituted, commissioned EFCC to go after Atiku. They could not pin down anything as a serving president.
As a vice president, Atiku Abubakar overreached himself. They were the ones that started the one-term syndrome. That is it. It was his undoing.
So
Mandela option. It was the Mandela option.
And Obasanjo and Atiku said that, look, I have no regret whatsoever stopping your third term. aspiration.
Atiku was the author of Mandela Option. That was his undoing politically.
So it's not surprising at all. If you look at the track record of Obasanjo, and you look at that of Atiku, then you should not be surprised that Atiku Obasanjo will, when it is election season, he will sing the praise of Atiku. There's still a video clip on the social media where he was saying that and the next president of Nigeria, referring to Atiku, that my able vice president, former vice president, So, but when it's election season, and it's as if this guy wants to win election, suddenly Obasanjo will remember that it was his great mistake.
You supported him in 2019,
now.
Obasanjo supported him.
Obasanjo is off and on season. That's what we are saying now.
Okay, all right, gentlemen. It's still from the Dailies on Solutions 93.9 FM. Let's go to Osun State. Today is day number 4 in the month of August, and on the 15th of August, Osun people will be going to the polls to elect their new governor. But the way things have been going in recent times, it's been tough. In the papers this morning, on the front page of The Guardian, we have this one saying, Osun polls, I am not under pressure, but don't trust police. This is coming from Governor Adeleke. And something dramatic happened. It was our head of News and Current Affairs Department, Dapo Konobi, was telling me yesterday that Ibrahim Gota, the police commissioner, the controversial police commissioner in Osun State, Ibrahim Gota, had been redeployed from Osun State. But the breaking news came up later in the day yesterday that the man had been returned to Osun State as the CP by the IGP, and that has raised lots of controversies. The redeployment, I want to read it now. The redeployment of Commissioner of Police Ibrahim Gota to Osun State ahead of the August 15 governorship election has sparked fresh controversy, with the Mole Campaign Council accusing the Nigerian police force of undermining public confidence in the electoral process. The Campaign Council, which is backing Governor Ademola Adeleke's re-election bid, criticized the decision on Monday, describing Goton's return as troubling in light of allegations surrounding his previous deployment in the state. In a statement signed by its spokesperson, Pelumi Olajengbese, the council alleged that Goton's earlier tenure was marked by harassment, arbitrary arrest, human rights violations, and intimidation of our court party leaders and supporters. Okay, the group specifically referenced the controversial detention of the secretary to the Osun State government, Teslim Igbalaye, and others, claiming the operation was politically motivated. According to the council, Igbalaye was later released. But just to cut the long story short, why would the IGP return Ibrahim Gota just like that, or just like where?
If they think he has an uncompleted assignment.
But it's beginning to look somehow. They will say, "Oh, Jogate ko Jogate." I mean, there have been so much.
Leave that Gate. President said all is fair. You know the meaning of that statement? They don't care whether Jogate ko Jogate koko. They don't care. Have you not seen it all written about this administration? They don't really care. As long as they remain in power, they remain in office, all is fair. That's what they are doing. There was a time that our leaders will still try to cover up some things in propaganda. They tend to be pretentious about some things so that it won't be as if they don't care about the people. But this administration, even starting from Buhari's administration, APC generally, they don't care. They don't care. If Buhari will tell you that he was not aware, they don't really care that much.
Comrade, before I get your opinion, Governor Adeleke was at a rally yesterday, and he did send a message to President Tinubu saying that we know you are a true Democrat, but your people are trying to strangle democracy in Osun State, that you should call them to order. I want to read the statement. I'm looking for that statement. Now, it reads, Mr. President, I want you to take note of my words. I am the Chief Security Officer of Osun. You are a Yoruba man, and Osun is Yoruba land. Yet your party chieftains are perpetrating political violence while you look the other way. Mr. President, all we demand for is free and fair election. If anybody tries to do otherwise, the political crisis of 1983, when some people tried to rig Michael Ajasi in Ondo State out of power, may repeat itself again. Mr. President, call your people to order. Call police chiefs to order. I am the governor. Yeah, not any other person. Accord has already endorsed you as its candidate. Why are we suffering again? You fought for democracy in Nigeria, and you must not allow your people destroy it. Wake up to your responsibility, Mr. President. Stop the shenanigans going on in Osun. This is coming from Governor Adeleke. What's your take, comrade?
No, the video is a lot more explosive.
The video is a lot more explosive than that.
Yeah, you see, well, I'm not even surprised that they returned the commissioner of police. All that is happening, it is they are overreaching themselves, and it is the agents of the party at the state level, backed with the federal forces, being mobilized by Oyetola, who is the president's first cousin and a former governor of that state. That is just the optics. And that is, apart from the optics, that is the reality. And the governor issued a stern warning that is how they did in Ondo in 1983. That they said Boriowo won an election. The years after, when I saw Boriowo in Abeokuta, I said, you are the one that claimed to have won election in Ondo State? You understand? You know, Yoruba land is a very tough place. Boriowo was campaigning in that old Ondo State. A brother came and removed his cap. You have never heard that story? So people should be very careful. People should be, you remember the governor of Oyo State to issue such a warning?
Yes.
A reminder.
Of wet here.
That was the first Republic. The second wet here in Yoruba land. You see, and the man said they're going to vote and defend their vote. And you know what that will mean. When some people are alleged to be intimidating them now, and maybe to escalate to other things on the election day, and these guys are saying they are going to vote and will not allow themselves to be intimidated and defend their vote. That's a dangerous one. Will the president allow them? It's a matter of order, free and fair, or what do you call it, level playing ground. No intimidation anywhere. It's as simple as that. It is the body language. It is the body language that the security agencies, especially the police, are getting. But you see, I saw somebody write. I can't remember now which platform. He said, and I was a living witness to it, when Obishore was contesting against Arebashola, we were in Osun on a number of occasions. The last one, the intimidation of the DSS. That was the first time I saw hooded men, hooded security details. Yeah. All over Osun, everywhere you turned, it wasn't as if in some areas. But for God's sake, this one now, they're using police and thugs. Why? What if the people will say, we are voting, we are defending our votes? There will be conflict, and there will be, loss of lives, destruction. We have seen it already, destruction of properties, like killing and maiming. Why?
Abductions.
Why? Why?
I love you. Ìdí mo fẹ́ sọ nísìnyí dé ẹjọ́ President Bola Tinubu nǹkan kan máa ń ṣẹlẹ̀ lóṣù tẹ́ ẹ̀dá sí. Nǹkan kan ń ṣẹlẹ̀ láti ìgbà ní Ọ̀ṣun. President Tinubu ní ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ní Ọ̀ṣun wọ́n ń pa àwọn èèyàn wa. Ẹ̀yin ni president, ẹ̀yin ni bàbá gbogbo wa o. Wọ́n pa àwọn èèyàn wa o. Ọ̀ṣun wọ́n ti sọ wípé àwọn ò ní gba rídì ní o. Kò ní sí rídì ní Ọ̀ṣun o. Ẹ̀rọ ti tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní 1983. Ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ló ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ o. tó yọ bàbá wa dá sílẹ̀ ẹ̀mọ́ tó ṣẹlẹ̀ o Ọ̀ṣun ò ní gbà o. We want free and fair election. That's it. President Tinubu, I'm passing this message to you. Kí lẹ fẹ́ kí Ọ̀ṣun ṣe? A ní pé àti endorse yìí kí ló dé? Kí ló dé? Kí o fi pa wá? Kí ló dé? Kí o fi kọ ọmọ Yorùbá? Àwọn ọlọ́pàá ti wà compromise. Ẹ jẹ́ kí o máa wá sí bọ́dà wa. Àwọn kidnappers wà bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ bá wọn. Àwọn tó ń jíyàn bẹ́ẹ̀ President Tinubu wọn ń fi àsìkò yìí sọ fún yín. Kẹ́lá sọ pé mi ò pariwo. I am the chief security officer of Ọ̀ṣun State. President Tinubu, I am passing this message to you. Ọ̀ṣun will not accept any reading. We will go out en masse and vote and defend our vote. Mo tún repeat here. Ẹ má jẹ́ kí n tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní 1993 kò ṣẹlẹ̀. President Tinubu, Ọ̀ṣun people, our party have endorsed you as our presidential candidate. Why are we suffering? Why is our money being kept? Oyetola need to be called to order. Gbogbo wa la bímọ o. Gbogbo wa la bímọ o. Ẹ ń bá àwọn èèyàn. Ǹjẹ́ mi wá ń sọ ní pé ẹ̀jẹ̀ àwọn ọmọlọmọ tí àwọn tó bá lọ́wọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ tó ń pa ọlọ́run àdásẹ̀ yá.
The voice of the governor of Osun State, Ademola Jackson Adeleke, there at a rally yesterday.
Never seen him in that explosive.
I mean, I've never ever seen that man
so.
in a very explosive manner like that. Ojasokpe, as we wrap up, what's your take on that? I mean, the tone of his voice and what is playing out in Osun State in 2 minutes.
No, Osun's election next week is going to be with a laughing way, kind of.
It's looking like it.
You understand? And like I said, what breeds political violence is the determination that nobody has the monopoly of violence. The APC in Osun State, they have demonstrated enough violence. Now, the Accord wants to step up that, look, you don't have the monopoly of violence. We are going to resist you. So they are going to slot it out. So it's going to be very bloody. And I won't be surprised if there is a low turnout of election, low turnout of voters on that election.
Because people will be afraid to come out.
Yes.
Okay, Comrade Aodeji, as we wrap up, what's your take on this?
Well, the stage is set. The stage is set for an epic battle between the people and those who want to unseat the sitting governor. I honestly, it's unnecessary, but we will see in Osun whether it is the like the one they say, Bikunlo Lokoni, Bitakuteni.
Okay.
Power to the people, as they say.
Okay. All right. That's the time permits us to take today. Thank you very much, Mr. Rotimi Johnson, Ojasokpe, for being a part of the program today.
It's always a pleasure, Adedamola.
Thank you very much. And to you, Comrade Ojasokpe, thank you very much.
My pleasure riding with you.
Okay. Up next is, they say, Ipade Dori Odo. Ojoibo. Okay, well, this one
everything is
okay, but this one coming up next is Idon Oriodo, Ipade Dori Odo this time around with Abbas Ishola. My name is Adi Damola Lafenwa. Do enjoy the rest of your day. Good morning.